Welcome. This is TarHeel247, a UNC basketball podcast. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, I want to bring in Brendan Haywood, ACC's all-time leader and field goal, Sporting News second-team All-American, all-time leading shot blocker. I was chasing that record, by the way. We'll talk about that. Hey, there was no Defensive Player of the Year, but I feel like you would have been in the race. I saw Shane Battier got it, but we'll leave that at that. NBA champion, 14-year pro. What you've been up to? Obviously, you've carved out a nice broadcast career. If you've been living over in Iraq, you know that. How are things going? What are you up to? Where are you at these days?
Man, things are going pretty good, man. Like you said, I've been doing the broadcast thing, full-time family, man, spending time with the kids. This year, I'm going to probably transition a little bit more into the college basketball space. Going to be calling some games on NBC. So it's going to be an interesting time, but it's fun. I'm retired, but I'm still attached to the game that I love.
Did you see yourself doing this when you played, or how did it materialize for you to kind of get into this space?
I could always see myself in media. Like even when I played in the off season, I called Mystic games when I was in DC. I did a radio show when I played for the Hornets. I did a blog at one point. So I was able to touch several forms of media even when I was playing and just figure out what I like, what my space is, what my lane was. But I always knew I wanted to still be attached to basketball. I didn't want to coach, but I wanted to be attached to the game.
I'm the same way. I feel like I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to coach. And that was my biggest thing. I was just like, maybe not coach. Even scouting or something, but I can't coach, man. So, yeah, for me, I just stopped playing. I got a phone call. They said, come up to New York for an interview for a show. They said, can you start tomorrow? And that's how kind of my journey went. So let's start at the beginning. Where are you originally from as well? You're from Greensboro, right? So tell me about kind of your journey from Greensboro to being recruited by Carolina.
Yeah, I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. I went to Dudley High School, coached by Coach David Price. Interesting journey for me, just simply because I wasn't as nice as you was in high school, man. You were a high-end recruit the whole time. When I first got to Dudley, man, I got cut from the 9th grade team, not JV, the 9th grade team. I got cut from the 9th grade team. The varsity coach, Coach Price, had to make the JV team coach pick me up. And then from there, I just continued to work really, really hard. I got better and better every year. We had a guy by the name of Vincent Witt on our team. He was the man. He was like a top 25 recruit. And so many colleges came to see him. And then they would just be like, yo, who's the big kid in the corner that got good grades? I'm like, that's me. And so I slowly but surely got better. I got exposure because they came to see him. And then as I developed, I went from basically being off the map, not recruited at all, to being a guy that ended up by my senior year becoming a McDonald's All-American myself and accepting the scholarship to North Carolina.
Played tight end too. Taught me football. What's up with that? Like, what's going on? I saw that. Did you actually play, or were you just on the team?
I was on JV. I was not nice.
Okay.
So listen. I only played JV football because the JV football coach was also the JV basketball coach, and I wanted to make sure that I was on the team because I wasn't sure of my skills at that point. So I was like, you know what? If he see me all the time, it's gonna be hard for him to just cut me. So that's the only reason I played JV football. But as soon as it was up, it was time to move to varsity. I was done. I wanted no parts of football. That's not me. If you hit me, it's a foul. That's how I like it.
I was gonna say I got hit one time. I told my dad, because my dad didn't want me to play. He was like, "Look, you can go play if you want to." I got hit one time. I came to the car like, "You got it."
Yeah. So in basketball, we basketball play. You hit us, it's a foul. We don't like all that content.
For sure. So how did Carolina first come into the picture and start recruiting you? And what was your pitch?
Man, it was like, obviously at that point I was being recruited by legendary Coach Dean Smith. And as I just got better and better in basketball, Carolina just started, making calls, showing up to games, doing things of that nature. And their pitch was just simply like, yo, come join our basketball family. We're gonna make sure you're the best on the court, in the classroom. It's a real family. It's a real love. And then we do a great job. And then the biggest thing for me is they say, hey, we do a great job putting bigs in the league. We do a great job. Our offense is low post centric. We do a great job of putting big men in the league. And for me, there were some names like guys that they might only had a cup of coffee, guys like Serge Wicker and Kelvin Salvadori. I'm like, yo, Carolina got them dudes to the league, I know I can make it. And so like I was like, I gotta go there because if they can help get those guys in, they can help get me in as well. So I figured their biggest thing for me was how they featured the bigs, the family atmosphere, and the fact that I was going to get a good education on top of a good education in basketball as well.
That was Coach Williams' pitch to me. I'll never forget my official visit. This may be a little shallow because I didn't even really visit Carolina at the time yet or like been around that yet. He came to my house. He had a list of paper. He had a list of names. He sat it on the table. He said, "What does that mean to you?" I said, "I don't know, man. All the guys that you coach." He said, No. That's every big man that I've ever had has played professionally somewhere." I was sold. I was sold.
Sir. Yes,
I was
sir.
sold.
Yes,
I was
sir.
sold.
Got to get to the money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So on your official visit, kind of what was it like? Because I'm glad I'm kind of talking to you because we're in different eras. So what was your official visit like back in the late 90s?
Man, my official visit was cool. I mean, like, they just took me around the campus. I thought I was going to the business department. So a lot of stuff was involved with the business school. Nothing too crazy. It was nothing too crazy, man. Just, went to a football game, just the typical stuff. But for me, the visit didn't really sell me. It was more just, like you said, Coach Smith and his knowledge of the game, the way that he went about. I really felt at home. Like, because, like the secretaries were kind of who sold me more than anybody else, because the secretaries like your mom. They felt like your second mom over there. So it's like, I got a different feel. When I went to Carolina and I'm in the basketball office and it just feels cozy. It feels different. Something just about this felt different. And then Coach Smith, just being the guy that he is and the basketball mind, and he was very honest with me as well. Like because I was a little bit chunkier back then. And he was just like, hey, he let me know, like, listen, you can be a pro if you come here. I can help you get there. You're going to have to lose some weight and do some other things, but I can get you there. So just those type of honest talks, that home type of feel that the secretaries brought to Carolina at that time. It was just one of those things that really just pushed me over the top.
Yeah, I'm always curious about Dean because I hear, obviously Roy, Coach Williams, he reveres him. So what was he like as a coach and as a person? Because I'm even curious because I hear so much about him. What was it like being coached by him and just having a relationship with him?
Well, that's the thing. I have a relationship with him, but I was never actually coached by him. He recruited me, but he retired. You know how you got did they do the mile run when you were in school?
Yeah, we did that, yep.
He retired the day of the mile run. So he actually retired in the beginning of my freshman year. So I was actually never coached by him. I was actually coached by Bill Guthridge and Matt Doherty. But it was just basketball-wise, like when you were just talking to Coach Smith, you just understood why he was so good. Like a lot of the stuff that even Coach Williams did, a lot of that is just stuff that was passed down from Dean Smith. Like even the defensive signals were still the same, like the double fist and that double palm for the trap and the first trap, the first dribble, trap the first pass half court. That's all Coach Smith stuff. Then the same signs. And I would see Kansas running, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what's coming. Like the secondary break, all that. It's all Coach. So all the stuff that you learn, you basically learn Coach Smith's philosophy. Roy obviously put his little twist to it, but there's a lot of Coach Smith's philosophy. So from a basketball standpoint, a lot of what you learned was basically Coach Smith principles.
For sure. I personally love the secondary break because, look, if we say we didn't get the rock, you already know we run kickback, get that thing down. You know what I mean? So I love the offense. And so did you have a feeling that he may step down or was kind of out the blue? Like, how did that kind of happen with the team? How did the team react?
Man, it was I didn't know he was going to retire, but he was always honest with me. He said, Brendan, I'm older. He said, I can't tell you that I'll be there for your whole 4 years. He said, but I can't tell you that I won't be. He said, if I wake up and I don't feel like I'm the right man for the job, I will step away. And I don't know when that is. And I was like, all right, I'm cool with that. I love the honesty. And it just happened to be like right before the season, he retires. And because I didn't play for him, I didn't really probably understand the magnitude of what was going on at that time. I'm 17 years old. I'm in the room. I'm seeing guys over there crying, and they just I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm just, 17, it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? You're looking around like, what you crying for, fam? But it's all good. I saw because Coach Smith meant a lot to a lot of people, and as I got to know him, not even from him being my coach, just from him being around. I understood that by the time I left. But at that time, I just couldn't really understand what was going on, the magnitude of how great this man was, how sudden this retirement was, and how it hit a lot of guys in that locker room really hard.
Yeah, so that Roy did a great job of just like revering kind of him and letting us know the foundation that he set. So I definitely get that. So this is my next question, right? You go into the summer, right? So when I walked in there, it was like Wayne, T. Hands, Ty, Shaman was playing, Big May, couldn't guard him, couldn't do nothing with him. Ray. So when you walked into the summer pickup games, first day, who was in the gym and what were you thinking?
Ooh, now I can't tell you the first day for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But over the course, because when you that first summer when you get there and everybody's playing pickup, and you look out there, and it is different when you 17 years old and you step in. It's Rasheed Wallace, it's Jerry Stackhouse, it's Eric Montross, it's Jeff McGinnis. It's like on top of the fact that we already had Vince and Antoine on our own team at that point when I was a freshman, but when those pros came back, you just like, this is a little bit different. Like, like trying to get your jump hook off over Rasheed Wallace. I'm talking about young prime Portland Rasheed Wallace. That's a different ball game. So just when you walk in there and it is all those pros, that level of player, it's something different. It's something different. Old Jerry Stack. We talk about Detroit Pistons Jerry Stackhouse that was damn near leading the league in scoring, like that dude. Like it was like pickup basketball was real. It was real.
Yeah, I always say, like, I think the reason I got so much better competitively as well was just the summers cats just try to come and kill you, and you had to you sink or you swam. So was there a guy that you just when you went up against was just like Big May? I was this is like Jersey, Charlotte, Big May, like I was in a blender. So is there a guy for you like that when you came in, like, man, I don't know what to do with him?
Oh, for sure. Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah.
No, that baseline turnaround jumper couldn't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do nothing.
Still can't.
Hey, listen, couldn't do nothing with it. He would just get one bounce, two bounce, and he was strong. Rasheed looked thin, but he was strong, bro. So like he would bounce, one bounce, two bounce, get me off balance, get to that fade. It was and I wasn't used to that. Because I was used to, like, coming out of high school, I'm blocking everybody's shot. Like, yeah, I'm averaging like 7 blocks a game in high school. I'm denied at the rim. I'm not used to not being able to get to nobody's shot and somebody just being able to go at me like flat out, like, yo, here you go. Let me get the ball one-on-one against young fella. He can't do nothing with me. And that was different. I wasn't used to that. It took some time. to get used to that.
For sure. And so, Dean, retires. Coach Guthridge steps in. Your team's loaded. Vince, Twan, Shaman, list goes on with a new coach. What was that like, playing for someone that maybe didn't necessarily recruit you and a brand new coach that you didn't think you were going to play for? How was that experience? And what were the expectations of the year as a team?
Well, the expectations were still so high because our team was loaded. You say Vince Carter, Antoine Jamison, Shaman Williams, Ed Cota. That's a loaded ball club. Yeah. So like the expectations were still high. Obviously, we were being coached by Bill Guthridge, and Coach Guthridge was also involved in my recruiting process. So it wasn't like it wasn't like they brought in somebody new and I didn't know who this guy was. I had a relationship with Coach Guthridge as well, and it was interesting to see how even Coach Guthridge navigated that situation, because my freshman year, we had something that I've actually never seen before. We had a 6-man starting rotation. You know what that is?
I know exactly what that is. It's 6 guys that you just kind of just plug.
Yeah, that means based every night, one guy sits. And it's just – so there were games where you would look up and maybe Antoine Jamison wasn't starting because he wasn't the rotation guy. Yeah. Which was crazy to me, but I've never seen that. But like some nights, maybe it's not Shaman Williams, maybe it's not Vince Carter. So we had a 6-man rotation, a 6-man starting rotation, that was interesting because I hadn't really seen that since. And so that was very interesting because Coach Guthridge believed all 6 guys were capable of starting, and he used them in that fashion. So that was very unique my freshman year. And we basically only went about 7 deep. It was them 6 plus me, and that was basically it.
Yeah.
And I was on the fringe.
Mm-hmm. Coach Williams was kind of the opposite. Coach was always like, look, I want my 5 guys to know they're going to play. I want my 5 guys to be comfortable out there, and then, we'll go from there. So that's an interesting strategy. I'm sure there was probably a little tension or just, Cats probably had it, but you guys are really good, and I think that's a beautiful thing about the program. Cats had to buy in, and ultimately you guys were successful that year as well, right?
Yeah. We went to the Final Four. We ended up losing to Utah, Andre Miller and Michael Doliak. Still think we were still supposed to beat them both, but yeah, it is what it is.
Doliak was nice.
Now Doliak wasn't the one. Andre Miller was the problem.
Really?
Andre Miller. Dog, tell me you might be too young to realize.
I am too young for Andre. I know Andre, but I don't know the young Andre.
Andre Miller was a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Problem. Doliak was strong though, but Andre Miller was a problem.
So we're gonna get into this triple-double, the first ever Carolina history: 18 points, 14 rebounds, 10 blocks. You remember that game? Can you take us back? Did you see you was about to get it, or you just looked up and you had a triple-double?
I knew nothing about it until after the game, because you get a triple-double with blocks. Like you're not sitting up there like trying like, I wasn't even thinking about it. Mm-hmm. I was just going out there, just one of those games. We're playing against Miami, and they kept trying me at the rim. Mm-hmm. And it's so much easier. This as a shot. It's so much easier to be a shot blocker in college because there's no illegal defense move. There's no illegal defense. So I just sit in the lane. And if your center couldn't shoot, or if he wasn't moving, I was just sitting in the lane clogging it up, and Miami just kept trying me at the rim. Access denied, like usual. Yeah. And that was that. And I didn't know until after the game. And then I was really shocked when they told me I was the first person to get a triple-double in Carolina history, because you're thinking Michael Jordan and all these other great players, Brad Daugherty, Jerry Stackhouse, you think somebody got a triple-double before I did, but I was actually the first one. So that was actually a pretty cool moment for me. That's something that I'm going to be attached to Carolina basketball history forever because of that, and I'm very appreciative.
Yeah, speaking of shot blocking, I was chasing you. So my junior year,
you would have caught me, but I did 4 years. You would have.
But see, the thing, I was gonna use that angle, but I did a deep dive. Now you did play your freshman year, but I averaged more minutes my freshman year. Now I didn't play to the last probably 14, 15 games, but we probably had similar kind of things. So I'm gonna walk that back just a little bit, but I'll tell you this. I saw the record, right? I was like 3 or 4 behind you all time and for a single season. And that's just basketball karma. God don't like ugly, because you know what? You ain't supposed to chase stats. And so I remember just being like, okay, I got a tournament game. We're gonna at least get to the Elite 8. So let's figure I need to start blocking shots. And I was chasing blocks, and I did not get it. I remember sitting back, looking back like, dang. I couldn't catch him, so that's the story behind that.
You were really chasing me.
I was chasing. I saw the numbers. I think all time I'm 3 or 4 behind you. So
wow.
When I ended we played Kansas. I remember ending the game, and I was just like, dog, I needed to get to the Final Four to get that record. So, I'm gonna give you your flowers. And yeah, I was chasing. So. That's a kind of fun fact. I'm sure you probably didn't know that, but
I had no idea you were actually paying attention to the record books and trying to catch me. But listen, I appreciate that level of competitiveness. Yeah. And the thing is, like nowadays, bigs like you and myself that are NBA level bigs, they're not going to go to school for 1 to 2 years. So if I'm 1 and you're 2, it's probably going to last for a long time, because the next great shot blocker, he's not going to be in school that long.
Not going to be in school that long, or he might leave, he transfers.
Yeah, or NIL. He might be there 1 year, the next year get a bigger bag to go play somewhere else. So it's a little bit different. I don't think we're going to see somebody that can block shots at the level that me and you did stay at Carolina or stay in college long enough to break our record. So Hey man, check. Hey, what is it? Check your own videos.
I'm pulling up the records right now. Look, we won 2 in the blocks. We won 2 in block, 3 block percentage. We won 2 in blocks per game. So it's stuck. It's stuck.
It's us at the top. It's just us.
It's just us. So I'm with that. Speaking of NIL, with this new era transfer protocol, I had a conversation with Jay Watts and HB about NIL. Who would have gotten what? So what do you think about the NIL and that team you had? Do you think y'all would have stayed together if NIL existed?
Stay together? Nah, man. Because people get ain't nobody doing no 6-man starting rotation. You can go play.
You would have changed it.
Ain't no 6-man starting rotation. If you can go over there and make $2 million. I do think guys deserve every penny. I think that even guys like when you look at what someone like yourself did at your time for Carolina basketball, I was playing with Vince Carter, what Antoine Jameson, what those guys meant to Carolina basketball. The amount of money that they generated, they weren't properly compensated.
Yeah. And
so I think now I still don't think the guys are totally properly compensated, but at least it's heading in the right direction. I love the NIL. I actually think it's good for college basketball. There's some people that don't really pay attention to what's going on. They think the money is bad, but actually what the money is doing is making fringe NBA players come back to college. Mm-hmm. We had more players actually stay than put their name in the draft. What normally happens if you're a guy that may be second round and you not get paid and mom got to eat, you go, hey, listen, you go to the league, and if you don't make it, you go overseas. Now you're saying guys like, oh, okay, you're saying I'm going to be the 45th pick. I'm going to come back to school, make $3 million, do another year of furthering my education, and I'm going to be able to feed my family. So NIL is actually benefiting college basketball a lot. It's actually, and so I love it. And I think, I'm trying to think, guys like me and you playing at Carolina, starting, dunking everything, we would have got about 2 million.
So I know that, the going market value. So when I came out, I was number 1 power forward in the country. So market value for that is 2 M's.
Oh,
so 2 M's. You're getting 2 out the gate. So I had a rough year. I didn't play that much. I probably would have had to take a discount to stay or leave, right? Depending on how you want to play it. And then I would have got re-upped again probably. So, I mean, it would have been a good year. I stayed for free. So, especially after your sophomore year.
Because you could have left after your sophomore year, right?
Yeah, then the lockout happened, right? So, we didn't know when the game what was going to happen. I didn't want to take out a loan so I could live into the, it was better to just play,
And I'm trying to think, your sophomore year, where'd y'all finish?
We won the ACC. I got Defensive Player of the Year. So I had a good year.
Yeah, man, I might have, hey man, you better than me. I might have been out.
Well, I say this all the time. So I think we had to keep Kendall. He was the engine, right? When we got Kendall, we got a lot better. Harrison, he stayed. He was going to be a top 3 pick. They would probably have to take care of him. Z, ACC Player of the Year, right? So, I probably maybe would have had to take a pick. In my opinion, I was the most expendable. Even though I was important, I feel like I was the most expendable. So, it's curious. I might have been in Georgia Tech somewhere, man. I'm glad. Thank God, though, because I built these friendships with everyone that just doesn't happen these days. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I'm friends with dudes that I went to school with, lawyers, my teammates. That's just not the case these days, unfortunately. So, So, at Carolina, you go to play in the NBA, you get to play with Jordan, right? The Wizards, I'm sure you talked about that locker room and all those. But first, I want to start with MJ. Did you get any special treatment, or was he harder on you? What was this? How was it playing with him?
Special treatment? Hell no. Hell no, man. No. MJ, listen, you seen the Last Dance documentary? Mm-hmm. That's MJ all day. Ain't none of that fake. Okay. He's about competition. He's about competing. He's about playing hard. And if you ain't about those things, he don't care if you went to Carolina, Duquesne, Marquette. It don't matter. He don't want you around. And he pushed everybody to try to be better, to try to be great. That's just who he naturally is. Even at 39, 40 years old, he was still one of the first ones in there getting extra work in, lifting with Tim Grover. He's just like, there's a reason why this guy's the GOAT. It's the work ethic combined with the mental toughness and that attitude of like, I'm gonna force y'all to be good. Because if you don't want to be great, if you don't want to be good, if you don't want to put work in, you don't need to be around me.
That's a dope story. And then with Arenas and Kwame Brown and those guys in the locker room, was it right now? Obviously, they're all in the media sparring, but like,
why you put those two together, man?
Man. Hey, listen. I'm just asking questions. So, but my question is this: when you were playing with those guys, did you think that was that there then, or this is new?
No, this is new, man. Like,
yeah.
Kwame and Gil never even really talked to each other that much. They were just different people. Like, it was no beef. Mm-hmm. Like, there was no beef between Kwame and Gil when they played on the same team. That beef started after both guys retired, and the podcast platforms and guys get to talking and telling their side of the story. Somebody else tells another side of the story, and somebody might not like what this person said, and the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. But nah, Kwame and Gil never had a problem when we were in the locker room. And it was understood. Like, when Gil got there, he was so good. He was the man. Like, what were we beefing about? Yeah. Yo, he was the man. Guys like myself and all the rest of the big, we were setting screens for him. Like, that's it. It wasn't. And listen, it wasn't no big debate. Like, oh man, it wasn't a situation like a Shaq and Kobe situation. It's like, nah, like, yo, this dude is like
Hibachi.
that.
That's Hibachi.
Yeah.
Come on now.
He stole Hibachi from me. But,
oh really? Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did that happen?
Yo, so it started. Hibachi. You know who the original Hibachi is? Actually Jamal Crawford. So the original Hibachi is not Gilbert Arenas. The original Hibachi, it starts from Jamal Crawford killing us. I want to say it was Jamal and Stephon Marbury, but there was nothing we could do with those two dudes, especially Jamal. I mean, Jamal, he got that, he had everything in his game. So he was giving us the in and outs, the hezzies, the crossovers, fadeaways, step back J's. And I remember coming to the bench like, bro got us on the Hibachi grill tonight. He passing out chicken and shrimp. He get, you know what I'm saying? And so we were just laughing about it. Not like we didn't take it serious, but it was one of those nights where you just like, when you see somebody on like that, it's like, man, ain't nothing we can do. Yeah. And so we were talking about Jamal Crawford. We fast forward to the next day that we practicing. It's me and Deshaun Stevenson. We keep the theme going because we're playing against Gil's team, and every time D. Steve hit a shot, we'd be like, Hibachi! Yeah. And just little wild stuff like that in practice. Yep. And then from there, Gil was like, I like that. Yeah, that's me. And he just took it and ran with it. And then he started hitting shots, and he was doing this, and that became his little Hibachi sign. He got a Hibachi deal. He got an endorsement. He was getting everything. He never broke your boy off no bread for that either. But the original Hibachi name came from me nicknaming Jamal Crawford the Hibachi because he was killing us.
That's a great story. So kind of moving forward, a couple more questions. What's the kind of coolest experience you've had in your life because of basketball?
Man, there's so many.
Yeah.
Like just being blessed to play in the NBA, living out my dreams, playing against like guys that I grew up idolizing, like playing against. I mean, I know some of these guys were older, but getting a chance to play against Patrick Ewing, getting a chance to play against Hakeem Olajuwon, obviously Shaq. Those are just great experiences. Being able to play with Michael Jordan, soak up that knowledge. It's just those experiences, you just can't put a price on that. Like we all have a dream as a kid, and to be 21 years old and be living out your dream on a nightly basis, there's nothing better than that for me. You know what I'm saying? And for 14 years, I lived out my dream of when I sat in my room when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, I eventually became that. And there was nothing better than that for me.
Yeah, I think for me, playing in the league, I'll never forget it. I got switched out on like LeBron. And I was sitting there just like, like just and y'all can look it up. Maybe we'll clip it in here. He drove baseline and punched me.
Ooh.
I didn't, and when you go block a shot, like sometimes you go to block it, you don't know if he made it or not. You just hear the crowd. So
were you at home or on the road?
I was at home.
So, at home, when that happens, the whole crowd says, "Ooh, yeah."
So he drove baseline. I didn't see the ball, nothing. I just heard, ooh. And I looked around. I seen his bench. I said, oh, he got me. So I definitely understood kind of playing in front of a legend as a young cat, man. That was cool. And so what would you give advice maybe to a young player in this era, man, just starting their basketball journey?
You talking about from high school?
Just in general. Hey, look, like if you could go back and say, hey, look, or you go to a kid and say, look, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice to help you in your basketball journey. What one thing you would say to him?
I would give them two. First of all, these kids have so much stuff that can distract them. But keep the main thing the main thing. If you want to be a really good NBA player, I understand there's video games. I understand there's TikTok. I understand there's all this different stuff going on. But if your dream is to be an NBA player, go out there every day and work on that. Put something into that. There's plenty of time to do the other stuff, but don't ever put that other stuff in front of your goals, your dreams, because that's what separates you from the pack. As far as just from a straight basketball standpoint, figure out your skill set, what you're good at, and just try to improve on that every day. Like, like I know you had that lefty hook, but man, don't you wish you would have been working on like a righty hook when you were a kid?
Listen, I tell this all the time. My son is turning 3. I said, as soon as he's able to, I'm gonna make sure he can go both ways equally. We're not even gonna worry about putting the ball in the basket. We're just gonna be able to use both hands. And
exactly.
So I feel that.
Little things like, man, I wish I could use my left hand, working on my left hand, obviously, form on jump shot. Like, because if you're a big, you can use both hands around the basket, and your form on your jump shot has been worked on since you were from 10 years old all the way up to wherever you get into. Like, man, all that stuff is key. And the skill set now is crazy. I'm not one of these old dudes that be hating on the younger generation. I think the skill set is insane. I love watching these guys play and what they're able to do, especially the guys that are they're me and your size, but man, they Euro stepping, step back, they hitting corner threes. So I love the skill set. So I would just make sure you work on your skill set every single day to get better at what your weaknesses are at an early age, and keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah, it's getting. I listen. It's getting tougher to play in the league. I mean, cats. Like it's like I said, dudes is my size. Handle it, step like when I came in it, like I remember Coach Williams kind of being like, "Hey man, just chill on the jumpers, like just relax." Now it's like practices is like everybody shooting jumpers when you go to these college practices. So definitely interesting. And my last one of the day, what is one question about your career you always wish you were asked?
You know what? I don't really have one, because all my people ask me a bunch of questions about longevity and who the toughest people to play against, and there's not one question that hasn't been asked. I've been retired for 10 years now, so I've done a lot of podcasts, a lot of talking. I'm in media, so I get asked all the questions. It's just like you said, so I don't really have one thing that I wish I was asked. I've been asked pretty much everything. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, man. Look, appreciate you coming by. I'm gonna let you get out of here. Hey, I appreciate you, my shot blocking brother.
Yes, sir.
Up there, and we stuck there. Thanks for coming by, man. You're a legend. Giving you your flowers, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on your platform, man. Keep doing great things.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And thanks for watching on YouTube and listen to wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to check out TarHeel247.com for the latest wall-to-wall coverage of Carolina athletics. We'll see you next time.